Today, I'm going to share with you how you can find books on Amazon that you can buy and resell back on Amazon in used condition for high ROI. I'm talking 100%, 150, even higher than that. I'm going to start with an example of a book that I just recently sold a couple hours ago. It's a book that I bought about a year ago for about 25 bucks and flipped for about 100 and made a $50 profit on over 100% ROI. And again, this is just really cool because this is what I do all the time. I just every day log on, buy a bunch of books on Amazon, never even touch them because they go right to a prep center, right to Amazon. The customer buys them. It's really just kind of mind blowing that this is possible. But let's go into the screen and I'll show you exactly what we're doing. So here's the book that I bought May 31st of 2024. So I bought it a while ago, almost a year ago. And you can see I bought it for a total of $26.34. Now you'll see the grand total is $0, and I'll tell you a little bit later why the total is $0. But essentially, I used a credit card which gives you reward points when you buy books on Amazon, and it allowed me to use those reward points to buy it for essentially nothing. But I bought it for $26.34, and it just sold on Amazon 2 hours ago for $96.27. So when we go and put in the buy cost and sell price, I made a $42 profit, 161% ROI. And yeah, this book sat there for a year. And in storage fees, I might have paid about $1 on this book. So maybe the real profit's about $41. But this is what I'm known for. I'm known for buying these books that are rare, old, niche on Amazon, and then just selling them back on Amazon for a high profit like this. And it works through using a software, which my good friend Victor Gallegos and I built called BookMine Explorer, or a part of the BookMine app called BookMine Explorer. Now, before we get into that, I want to kind of explain why I bought this book and the reason why this opportunity exists. So what we're going to do first is come down to the keeper graph. And this keeper graph is essentially going to tell us what the book has been listed for over a long period of time and whether or not it has actually sold at those prices. So the first thing we're going to look at is the use price, which is shown with this black line. And over the last year, you can see that this book has been priced anywhere from at the low of $80 up to about $130. Now, not only that, this green line, which represents sales rank, anytime that sales rank drops significantly, it means that the book sold on Amazon. So you can actually see there have been multiple periods of time where this book has actually dropped in sales rank, which means this book has actually sold for as high as $115, $80 there, $120, $115. Now, when I bought this book, again, I bought it over a year ago in May, and that actually happened here when the price was $4,900 and dropped all the way down to $20 plus shipping, or $26, which is what I bought it for. Now, again, when we look further back into time at the keeper graph, again, plenty of sales well above what I bought the book for. And generally, this is just a rare niche book, and that's what BookMine Explorer will help you do, and I'll show you that a little bit later. But essentially, it will help you find these books that have been priced very high and then dropped in price for a very short period of time, allowing you to swoop in and snag them. Now, I mentioned that this whole process is fully automated. And what I mean by that is when I buy the book, I don't actually even touch it or inspect it. I actually partner with a third-party prep center. In this case, the one I use is Central Virginia Prep. Shannon Mann's owner of that prep company, awesome prep company. But essentially, I buy the book and I actually have it shipped to their warehouse where they inspect the book. They list it on Amazon for me. I pay a $2.25 fee. It gets shipped all the way to the Amazon warehouse, and that's where it sits for someone to actually buy the book. In this case, again, this $42 profit has all of those fees baked in. It has the referral fee, the fulfillment fee, the closing fee. It even has the prep fee and my inbound shipping. So it has all the fees, still made over 160% return. And a lot of people might be thinking, well, yeah, you had to wait almost a year to get that. Well, you have to think about the alternative. The alternative is to put it in the S&P 500, which gets about 8% per year. You can put it in real estate, which potentially could get something similar to that. But I'm more than happy to take my money, invest in a book like this, which has a very high likelihood of selling for that much money because it has sold for that much money in the past. And what I'm going to do now is share with you how you would be able to find these books very, very easily on BookMine Explorer. So the first thing that you need to do is actually go over to BookMine, and you can learn more about what makes the BookMine software, which again, I helped create with my good friend Victor Gallegos, what makes this such an awesome software to use. But what you need to do is actually sign up for a free trial, and you can do that by going to pricing, and you can sign up for, let's say, the Gold Prospector trial. And once you do so, you'll have a 10-day free trial, which allows you to access BookMine Explorer. Now, normally when you open up the dashboard, you'll go to regular BookMine. Now, regular BookMine is actually the bread and butter. That's where most people go to because of the fact you can find books that generally have a lower ROI, like 30 to 40 to 50, all the way up to 100% ROI, but books that move much more quickly, seasonal books. So that in of itself is an awesome arm of BookMine. But we actually created BookMine Explorer for me because of the fact that I love these investment style books where maybe you have to buy them and hold them for between 4, 5, 6 months, maybe even up to a year, but they can offer that potential of getting insane ROI if you're willing to be patient and wait. Now, all you would do here in this case is essentially scroll through books and find the books that are currently priced at a point that is well below what they've been selling for in the past. So here's just a great example of a book, and I'll draw it for you using my Epic Pen tool. So this used price of the book has been between $50 on the low end all the way up to about $70, and it actually just dropped down in price right here all the way down to $16.20. So you have to understand how crazy this is. This book has been listed at over $50 the entire year, actually the last 2 years, and then just right now it dropped down to $16.20 free shipping. And so you have the ability to just go buy that book, send it right back to Amazon and sell it for 50 or $60 and make 100% or more ROI. Now, again, the craziest thing is that you never even have to touch the book because you just ship it to a prep center. The prep center ships it to the Amazon warehouse. A customer buys the book, and then Amazon does all the fulfillment and all the customer service. And again, this is how I make $100,000 a year, is simply just by leveraging the automated system of a prep center and Amazon FBA, and then obviously BookMine, which helps me find these books. Again, it's a software that my friend and I created because this is the easiest way to find books like this. Now, I could continue to scroll and find some other great books, but I've actually already done that, and I'll go ahead and share with you. So, I mean, actually, this is a book that's awesome right here. $16.97 just dropped in price, and the whole last year it was selling for $75 or more. Now, again, remember that this is BookMine Explorer, which means that a lot of these books are going to take more time to sell, but that's okay because of the fact that you are going to be getting a very high return on this money. And again, what is the alternative? Put in the S&P 500, get 8% per year, which is great. I mean, that's an awesome return, but we're looking to flip books actively and to make quite a bit of money. So here's another book that BookMine Explorer found. We can see that this book has regularly been selling for $55, and it has just dropped down to $17 free shipping. So the idea here is, okay, well, the whole year it's been $50 and it has been selling. Now all of a sudden it's $18. So go buy it for $18, ship it to the prep center, have the prep center shipped to Amazon, sell for $55, make 100% return. Now, this book has sold like 7 or 8 times in the last year, so this one might take 6 months to a year to sell. But I'm more than willing to buy this book and wait that long for it to sell. Now, the cool thing is you could also look further back into Thailand Keepa and see that this book has a long track record over the last 4 or 5 years for selling for $50 and even more, sometimes even up to $75. So that's a book that you would buy using BookMine Explorer. Now, here's yet another book that BookMine Explorer found. This book has sold about 4 or 5 times for $82, even up, $79 there, $99 there. And it just recently dropped down to $27. So again, think about how incredible that is. This book has been listed on Amazon for basically $80 to $100 the entire year. And just recently it's dropped down to $27. So again, this is a book that I'd buy for $27, sell for $80 to $90. Again, I might have to wait 6 months to a year, but again, that's over a 100% return. And this is my bread and butter. These are the types of books I love to flip. It's the reason why my average purchase price is $18 and my average sales price is $68 is because I buy a bunch of books like this. Now, one thing that I do want to let you know is that remember, it's a good idea to kind of diversify your portfolio, meaning like not just have all long tail books because it does take a long time for them to sell. Also find faster moving books and make sure you check out the most recent video I just made about how you can find fast moving books that you can sell within a couple of months for 40 to 50% ROI that can really help build your capital. It was an awesome video, got a great response. So make sure you check out that video. I'll go and put the thumbnail up here on the screen so that you can see it. But make sure you go watch that video so that you can have kind of a mix of both of these, faster moving and slower moving books. And yeah, great. Now this one is awesome that BookMine Explorer just found. And the reason why it's awesome is because I've actually flipped this book before and I found it using BookMine Explorer in the past, flipped it, made a profit, and now it's found it again. So this particular book has sold for $54, $65, even up to $80 over the last year. And now it's just recently come down to about $17 plus shipping. Now you can see on the actual listing, I bought this on May 4th of 2023. So I bought this over 2 years ago. And if I go and look at the order details, I bought it for $25.75. And then you can see that I actually sold it a year ago on January 9th of 2024 for about $75. So this one actually took about 7 months to sell. But if you go and put in what I bought it for and what I sold it for, I made 100% return in about 7 months. Again, what's the alternative? The alternative is to, put it in the S&P 500, get 8% per year. So an incredible flip here. And the cool thing is that this is now a replenishable book. It's a book that I no longer have in stock, but a book that I'm now going to rebuy and then go ahead and let sit there for 6 months to 8 months. And again, very likely make close to 100%, if not more ROI on this book. Now here's yet another book that has recently sold for $63 up to $40. And it's, just recently was sitting at $70 on Amazon. It's now come all the way down in the last week to about $14 per shipping. So again, another long tail book, a book that you would buy and sit on for a while that potentially can make you quite a bit of money. We've got another one, The Way of the Lord Jesus, Volume 3. This, had sold for $84 in December of last year, sold twice for $70 in September of 2024. Once at 33, another time at 60. We can kind of expand the historical selling data and really see that today is just a great purchase price for this book, which has had a history of even selling as high as $97 at the lowest price. So a book that's about a very niche topic. It's a book that is quite old. So we know that this book is going to continue to perform in the long run because of the fact that it is an old book. It's been out for a long time. It has a track record of selling. I mean, you can even go back to 2018 to 2019 for $50 to $60 regularly. So another amazing book that BookMine Explorer found that you could go pick up right now for $18 plus shipping and likely sell for between $60 and $80, making well over a 100% return. Now, this particular book, it might take you 6 months up to a year to sell it. But again, remember that these types of books, the BookMine Explorer books, are the ones where you're aiming for over a 100% ROI, where you're willing to be patient and really let this investment do wonders for you. Now, the last book I'm going to show you is a neuroscience book. Again, a very similar process. It sold for $54, for $58, sometimes up here for $30. You can go back into time and you can see that this book has regularly been selling for $40 to $50. And guess what? It's at $12 free shipping, meaning that you can buy this book for about $12, flip it for between $40 and $50. Again, make a 100+% ROI. Now, again, I did want to remind you and bring you back to how I actually bought the first book that I showed you for $0. So if you click the link below in the description, you can actually apply for the Amazon Rewards Visa Signature Credit Card when you're ready for it. You'll get an instant gift card. Sometimes it's 75, sometimes it's 100. Right now it's 150. I don't know how many times it's ever that high, but that's a really incredible offer as of the recording of this video. So $150 Amazon gift card. You can apply now. Usually you get an instant decision within 15 seconds. But the main perk about this is you get 5% back on every purchase, which is just incredible. That 5% back comes in the form of rewards points, which I just use to redeem to buy books. And that's exactly what I did with this long tail book. And it's how I actually bought the book for $0. So why that's so amazing is that even though the purchase price was technically $26, in reality it was $0 because of the fact that I just bought a whole bunch of other books, got these rewards points, and was able to buy it for nothing. So in other words, I made an infinite return, a $68 profit. And all I do, everyone, guys and gals out there, is I just, have a good mix of seasonal books, of faster moving books, but then 50% or more of my books are these long tail books. And again, I go into understanding that I'm buying a book that has a track record of performing well in a 6 month to a 1 year period, going to get a 100+% return, sometimes an infinite return when I use the Amazon Rewards Visa Signature Credit Card. But again, if you click the link down below in the description, feel free, to apply for that credit card. You get an instant gift card, 5% back. It's one way to support the channel. And then again, if you're really interested in BookMine Explorer, it's really simple. All you go to thebookmine.co, you come down to the pricing, and yeah, $160 a month if you want some mentorship, $220 a month if you want to meet with me one-on-one for 30 minutes a month, or if you just want to solve for $130 and you might go, Joji, that's so expensive. Well, the BookMine, software is built for people who are really trying to get to 100,000 in revenue plus per year. And at that rate, you're paying less than 1% of your yearly revenue. And it really doesn't take much. If you can buy 7 to 10 books per day, every single day, and find great books, I mean, you're pretty easily going to get there as long as you stay consistent. So hope you enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed the video. I love BookMine Explorer because of the fact that it was a software that Victor and I built for me, because these are the types of books that I want to find. It's the fastest way to find these books because you don't do anything other than just log on to the software and all the books just show up there for you. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comment sections, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.